So many times he told me, I'm tired. So many times he said to me, I'm tired, baby sis. I'm tired and I'm ready to go. He's he said that to me so many times. Okay. Okay. Man, this is tough. I haven't talked to the camera in a long time. Uh, hey guys, I know it has been a really long time since Phil and I have been on camera, and I'll maybe at the end of this video I'll talk about our channel a little bit and the future of our channel and our plans, but that's not the main purpose of this video, as you could tell by the title. My brother passed away. Girl, you are not about to start to cry already. I intentionally have waited a while to make this video. I gave myself some time so I could make it through the video and not get emotional. So I'm really surprised that I'm starting to get emotional already. I thought I was ready to make this video. Okay. So 2020, this year, y'all, I know everybody's been saying that this year has it's a tough one. It's been a rough year. And I know not just for us, it's been for a lot of people. And I'll go into some of the things that's gone on this year for us, but this year has been, it's been extremely difficult. It has kicked our butts, to be honest with you. And of course, the most prominent thing is I lost my brother, my older brother, Larry. If you all have watched our channel for a while or watched some of our older reactions, you've probably seen my niece, Divine, aka Devi, in our reactions. That this is her father that I'm speaking of, my older brother Larry, who was 4 years older than me. A little bit backstory about my brother Larry. He's been sick for a very long time. He suffered illness for over 20 years. Literally, Divine's entire life he's been sick. When he was in his 20s, he was diagnosed with diabetes and has just had a series of illnesses and difficulty since then. He had kidney failure and needed a kidney transplant, and and he's been on dialysis for over a decade. So just a whole host of issues and illnesses, and his health has deteriorated greatly over the last few years. But I'll speak about what happened to him. So the day after Father's Day this year, so that was late June, I can't remember what the exact date the Father's Day was, but the day after Father's Day, my brother went into the hospital because he was not feeling well. And surprisingly, that is not that surprising to us. My brother has had so many hospitalizations that it doesn't surprise us, or it didn't surprise us anytime he went back into the hospital. And honestly, we didn't fear anything bad happening because he's been in the hospital before. He has been sedated for over a week before. He's been on a ventilator before. He has had to go into I can't think of the word right now, I'm sorry y'all, but he's had to be in recovery for over a month. So when my sister-in-law called and said that she was taken to the hospital, I did not think that much of it. And then that evening, like around midnight, she called us and said that he went into cardiac arrest. So me and my mom went to the hospital, and even still then, we weren't super concerned. And I know that probably sounds crazy to people, but for us, because my brother had been sick for so long, he's gone through all those type of challenges before, and he's always fought back. He's always come back. So we went to the hospital. When we got there, she said they had called Code Blue but they were able to get him back, and they had him sedated. So that whole week, actually, this whole thing was a 2 week long ordeal, which was honestly the worst experience that I've experienced in my entire life, and it did not help because of COVID. COVID made it even worse. So that whole first week, the hospital he was in, they had him sedated. Because of COVID, he was only allowed one visitor at a time, but as many of us that wanted to come to the hospital could come there, but only one person was allowed in his ICU room at a time. So we all went there and visited him. I went there a few days after he had been there, sat with him in his room for about a half hour or so, and he was sedated. He was on a ventilator and stuff like that, so he wasn't talking, he wasn't awake. And I honestly did not think that much of it because I had seen him in that position before. I just was like, my brother needs time to rest, and he will heal and he will get better. Later that week, when they tried to lift the sedation, he was not waking up. And that's when the hospital said that they were very concerned that usually anytime they lifted sedation before, he would wake up. If not in a few minutes, within less than an hour or so, he would wake up. But this time he was not waking up. So they were worried that there might be some neurological problems. And they said, we're not that equipped to handle him here. So I'm not going to get into all the dirty details, but they said we need to send him to another hospital. A hospital that can evaluate the neurological issues. Sent him to another hospital, and that's when the ordeals really, really started. Because that hospital, because of COVID, their rules were much different. They only allowed him to have one visitor per day, which basically meant that only my sister-in-law was allowed to be there because she needed to be there to be his advocate because he was not conscious. He couldn't talk. He couldn't advocate for himself. So she had to be the one that was there. So she's group texting us every day with updates, and the hospital saying that they're not sure if he has brain activity, and they once again said, we're not equipped to evaluate him. We need to send him somewhere else. So he was transferred to a third hospital, this one that had a really good neurological department. These people were awesome. They were wonderful. But they basically, after a few days of being there, they ran every test that they could, did every evaluation they could. And we're getting updates from my sister-in-law, and by this time we could tell that it's not good, and we realize that it's not good. So on July 4th, the 4th of July, we all had a family meeting while everyone else was out celebrating Independence Day, fireworks and barbecues. We were having a family meeting to discuss my brother, and she gave us the full update from the doctor. And what the doctor told us was that he has no brain activity. They don't think he was going to wake up, but even if he did wake up, he would not be himself because he had no brain activity at all. They said it was only the equipment that was keeping him alive. He was on a ventilator. He had fluid around his heart. He had blood clots all over his body. And he was having continuous seizures. What we didn't know at the time, because they weren't the external type of seizures where you could see them. They were all internal. So this whole time, they believed since he went into cardiac arrest, he had been having seizures that entire time, but we could not see it. But so, like, literally back-to-back continual seizures. So on July 4th, we had a family meeting to discuss, and the doctor said that he was not going to get better and that we needed to make a decision. And this, I've said this to so many people that it felt like we were in a movie or a TV show. You know how you see and you hear about that, those where something happens to a person and they have to talk about ending life support. You never really think that you're going to be in that position. But here we were in that position where the doctors told us he wasn't going to get better. if he ever did manage to wake up, would have no brain activity, so he would not be himself. And we all discussed it, and even though we did not want to let my brother go, I had many conversations with him in the past because he's been sick for so long, and so many times he told me, I'm tired. So many times he said to me, I'm tired, baby sis. I'm tired and I'm ready to go. He said that to me so many times. But because we selfishly wanted him to be here, we always begged him to just hold on and fight. So he fought so hard to be here for us. He was tired. He was ready to go. What I found out later, he had not just said that to me. He had a group of really close friends, and he had met with them a few weeks before he passed, and he told them then, it's time. He knew. And all his friends were like, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? No. What are you talking about? And he looked at them in the eyes and he told each of them, it's time. And this is weeks before he went into the hospital. But he knew it was time. So we made the decision to end the life support. And as much as it pained all of us, we knew that it was unfair to him for us to hold on, that he needed rest and that he desperately wanted rest, that he's been begging for rest for so long, and then he was tired of fighting, and then he was only fighting for us. So we finally had to say, okay, it's time to let him rest. So on July 5th, thankfully that day, the hospital allowed more of us to be there. So allowed his wife and his 2 kids and me and one of my other brothers to be there when we took him off life support. And he was very peaceful. He was not in pain or anything like that. But it was honestly the hardest thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. You just can't fathom having to go through that. Just even now thinking about it, walking through the hospitals and like seeing the nurses, and like they knew that's the family. That's Larry's family, the person that they're about to take off life support. And just being there with him for those last moments. And even now, it's over a month since that happened. And I've told Phil many times that I feel like I've kind of just like, I've mourned, but I feel like I've just like gradually skimmed the top of mourning, and I haven't really dived deep. Anytime somebody asks me about it, I'll say, yes, I'm sad, but I know my brother's in a better place. And I know that he is better and he's happy, which is true. But I haven't allowed myself to like, I feel like fully grieve because I'm afraid. But I do truly know that my brother's in a better place. But this is my big brother that has been in my life since the day I was born. He's always been there. He was my best friend growing up. It was the 2 of us until my younger brother Chris was born. So it was always us. He was always my big brother. He was always the person that was there for me. So I just don't know how to navigate life now without him. So, yeah, like I said, this year, man, y'all, like, even beyond COVID, I'm not even going to talk about COVID. I've had friends that have been sick, and I've had friends and family members that have lost loved ones. Beyond that, though, this year just has really hit our family hard. We've had so many struggles. this year, starting with on Mother's Day. So it seems like something always happened around holidays. On Mother's Day, my aunt had a stroke. She had a mini stroke. Um, and thank God she has recovered and she is doing better. She still has some complications from that, but she's doing better. So she had a stroke on Mother's Day. This is my mom's older sister. And then on Father's Day, as I said, the day after Father's Day, my brother Larry went into the hospital. That same day, I got a text from my cousin, and she was like, I hope Larry's doing well, and I hate to give you bad news, but my nephew passed. Her 32-year-old nephew, who had no underlying health issues, died of a heart attack in his sleep. So the same day my brother went in the hospital, my cousins lost their 32-year-old nephew. He just died in their sleep. Then my brother died on July 5th. 6 days later, I was in a car accident and I was T-boned by a pickup truck and my car was totaled. I have some injuries from it that I'm in physical therapy for now. 5 days after my brother's funeral, my great aunt passed away. So my grandmother buried her oldest son, and then, buried her oldest grandson, and then 5 days later, she lost her youngest sister. And then also within this whole time frame of late June, early July, we had other family deaths. My stepdad, he lost 2 uncles and an aunt, and other family illnesses and sicknesses. While my brother was in the hospital, we had 2 other family members in the hospital at the same time. So this year, it's been a whole lot. But even though we had some trials, I know tests and trials come to make us stronger, and I have not lost my faith. I will not lose my faith. I am boldly living in grace. We're struggling right now, but I know God makes no mistakes. I know that it was time for my brother, and I know that he is at peace now. And even though I'm sad and I'm hurting so much, I'm at peace that he's at peace. I'm sad thinking about all the things he didn't get to do. And the thing about my brother, if you all knew him, he lived life. Like, he lived his 45 years. Like, even when he was sick, when he wasn't feeling well, he would go as hard as he possibly could. If we were going somewhere to an amusement park, he was going to ride every single ride. If we were going to like a family reunion, he was going to make sure he talked to every person, take a picture with everyone there. Like, everything he did full on. And I feel like that's because he knew his time was limited. So even when the rest of us are exhausted and it's like, Larry, it's time, we need to rest. He's like, no, he wasn't ready to rest. We go to haunted houses and he's going to visit every venue there. He did everything full on. And I think that's because he knew his time was limited. So he wanted to live life to his full as long as he could. So I'm going to miss my big brother. I still can't really wrap my head around the thought that he's gone. But he lives here in our heart, and I know he's looking down on us. This is tough. It's going to be tough for a long time, but I know that we all will be okay. My mom, my sister-in-law, my niece Divine, Phil. Phil was really close to my brother also. I feel like when he moved here to America, my brother was the first one that really embraced him, and they became really good friends. And Phil doesn't talk about it that much, but I know that this is very difficult for him because he and my brother were so close, and I believe he actually has become closer to my brothers than he has to his own, because his brothers live in Australia. All his siblings are still in Australia, so he formed a special close bond with my brothers, especially with my brother Larry. So I know this is very difficult for him too. I'm sorry, I was not planning on this video being so long. I'm rambling, so I'll cut it short, but I will talk quickly about our channel. As you can see, we have not posted a reaction since March. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know if we're going to be doing reactions anymore. Right now, I don't see it happening. And here's the thing with reactions. We love making reaction videos. We love especially the interaction that we have with other K-pop fans when we make reaction videos. But to be honest, YouTube takes a lot of the joy and a lot of the fun out of it, because a lot of the things we want to react to, we can't. Just the nature of the way YouTube works right now, we can get copyright claims at any moment. And what a lot of you might not know, that you can get a copyright claim, which is okay, but if you get a copyright strike, if you get 3 copyright strikes within, like, I don't know, a 2 or 3 month period, your channel will be deleted. And we have had multiple times where we've gotten copyright strikes, and sometimes it's not right away. It'll be for a video that we created 2 years ago. All of a sudden we've gotten a copyright strike before, and we've had a point in time where we had 2 copyright strikes at the same time. If we had gotten one more, our channel would have been deleted. So as much as we love doing reactions, it's just so dangerous, because we spent 5.5 years on this channel, and at any point in time a company decides they want to issue a copyright strike, and our channel could be deleted, which really takes the fun out of it. We get nervous about things we want to react to. We would love to react to stage performances, but those get striked automatically almost. So it just takes the fun out of doing the reactions, because it's like, is this going to stay up? Is it not? So it's like, why bother? Why do it when it's jeopardizing our channel? So we are not saying that we're gone forever, but the reactions, they may not be gone. Of course, we're still doing constant rotation, even though that does not get many views. It's something that we love to do, so we're going to keep on doing it. But we do want to react with our subbies again. So we're thinking of a few different ways we could do that. Possibly starting vlogging again. Another thing we're thinking about is maybe doing a podcast where we can talk about K-pop news and K-pop and even K-drama news and things of that nature. But we're just giving ourselves some time, because this whole thing with my brother and the accident and stuff, this all just happened in the past month. So we're going to give ourselves a little bit more time. We do plan to come back on camera at some point. The podcast might be what it is, or something else. We're just not sure. I would love to hear from you guys if you all had ideas or suggestions of what type of content you would like to see from us, because we do still love interacting with you guys. It's just the reaction, man. The reaction life is just not easy right now. But I do miss you guys. You guys are so uplifting. I miss talking to you guys and communicating. Y'all uplift my spirit so much, and I miss that. We do want to get back to it at some point. I'm sorry this video is so long. I did not intend to be so long. Hopefully I can cut a little bit of it out of it. But thank you for those who watch. Thank you guys that have supported us so much. Thank you for being there. And if anybody wants to pray for us, I believe wholeheartedly in the power of prayer. We'll take your prayers, and we appreciate it. And just thank you, and we'll see you again sometime soon, hopefully. God bless.